In the highly polarized landscape of American politics, the fate of the 2024 U.S. presidential election hangs precariously in the balance, teetering on the decision of just a handful of swing states. Among the vast sea of eligible voters, a relatively small number of people in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin could determine the country's next leader. As both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump ramp up their campaigns, these states have become battlegrounds where every vote is fiercely contested, reflecting deep divides over issues like immigration, economic recovery, racial justice, and foreign policy. But beyond the polls and the candidates' promises, the real question remains: how will the diverse needs and desires of voters in these pivotal states shape the future of the United States? What will ultimately sway their decision in this crucial election? As the 2024 U.S. presidential election draws near, the nation's attention is focused on 7 pivotal swing states that hold the key to the White House. With approximately 240 million eligible voters, the reality is that the election outcome will likely hinge on a much smaller group of undecided voters concentrated in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. These states have become the primary battlegrounds for both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, with each campaign investing heavily to sway voters who could tip the scales in favor of either the Democrats or the Republicans. Arizona, the border state battleground. Arizona's importance in the 2024 election cannot be overstated. Traditionally a Republican stronghold, the state turned blue in 2020, playing a crucial role in Joe Biden's victory. Now, both parties are vying for its critical electoral votes. Arizona's unique position as a border state has made immigration a front and center issue for its voters. In recent years, border crossings surged to unprecedented levels, thrusting immigration into the spotlight and making it a top concern for Arizona residents. Donald Trump has been vocal about Kamala Harris's record on immigration, criticizing her handling of the border situation under President Biden's administration. He has also promised a dramatic overhaul of immigration policy, pledging to execute the largest deportation operation in U.S. history if re-elected. On the other hand, Democrats face challenges from within, particularly around the issue of abortion. In Arizona, Republican lawmakers attempted to reintroduce a near-total abortion ban from the 19th century, igniting fierce debates. This battle over reproductive rights, especially following the Supreme Court's 2022 decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, has mobilized voters across the political spectrum. Georgia, a state of legal battles and racial politics. Georgia, another critical swing state, has a storied history in recent elections. It was a focal point of controversy following the 2020 election when Trump and his allies attempted to challenge Biden's narrow win there. This led to ongoing legal battles, with Trump facing charges related to alleged efforts to overturn election results. With Georgia's sizable African-American population, which was instrumental in Biden's 2020 victory, both campaigns are acutely aware of the need to engage and energize this key demographic. While some disillusionment has been reported among Black voters regarding the Biden administration, the Harris campaign is actively working to regain their support, emphasizing issues that resonate with these communities. Trump's legal troubles add another layer of complexity, with his team aiming to shift the narrative away from the courtroom and back to the campaign trail. Michigan, the center of economic and foreign policy debates. Michigan has a reputation for picking winners in presidential elections, having done so in both 2016 and 2020. The state is now a microcosm of broader national debates, particularly around economic policies and foreign relations. Michigan's large Arab American community, the biggest in the country, has been vocal about its dissatisfaction with Biden's support for Israel during the recent conflict in Gaza. This has led to a notable number of voters choosing the uncommitted option in Democratic primaries, signaling potential trouble for Harris in securing the state. Trump has seized upon these sentiments, advocating for a swift conclusion to the conflict in Gaza while emphasizing Michigan's strategic importance to his campaign. Harris, meanwhile, has adopted a more nuanced approach to foreign policy, hoping to appeal to Michigan voters who are concerned about international issues, but also domestic policies that directly affect their lives. Nevada, a state of economic recovery and demographic shifts. Nevada, traditionally a Democratic state in recent elections, presents a unique challenge in 2024. Despite the nation's economic growth under Biden, Nevada's recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic has lagged behind. With the highest unemployment rate in the country, Nevada voters are acutely aware of economic issues, making them a critical audience for both campaigns. Trump has promised a return to an agenda of lower taxes and deregulation, aiming to win over those dissatisfied with the current economic conditions. Meanwhile, Harris has focused on policies that appeal to Nevada's diverse electorate, including younger voters and the significant Latino community, in hopes of maintaining Democratic control in the state. North Carolina, the emerging battleground. North Carolina, long considered a toss-up state, is once again in the spotlight. Both parties view it as a crucial battleground, and recent polls suggest a tight race. Trump's decision to hold his first outdoor rally there since a July assassination attempt underscores the state's significance. For the Democrats, North Carolina represents a vital opportunity to swing the balance in their favor, with the state's governor, Roy Cooper, playing a prominent role in rallying support. Both campaigns are keenly aware that North Carolina shares many electoral concerns with its neighboring swing states, such as Georgia and Arizona, including immigration, economic policies, and social issues. The Harris campaign is banking on this shared experience to bolster its appeal in the state. Pennsylvania, the Keystone State of Economic Woes. Pennsylvania, known as the Keystone State, has lived up to its name by being pivotal in the 2020 election. Trump's near miss in the state in 2020 and his survival of an assassination attempt at a rally in Pennsylvania have only heightened the state's importance in 2024. The state's economy, particularly in working-class areas like Scranton, where Biden grew up, remains a significant concern for voters. Despite a gradual reduction in inflation, Pennsylvania residents continue to feel the pinch of rising living costs, especially in grocery prices. This economic pressure has provided Trump with ample material to criticize Harris's association with Biden's economic policies. For her part, Harris is focusing on framing the economic debate around progress and recovery, emphasizing policies aimed at reducing inflation and improving job growth. Wisconsin, a state on the edge. Wisconsin, another key swing state, has been closely contested in the last two presidential elections, with margins of victory often in the tens of thousands. The state has been a battleground for not just the two main parties, but also for third-party candidates who could siphon votes from either major candidate. Independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., among others, could significantly impact the vote, with his presence on the ballot drawing concern from Democrats. The state's significance was underscored when Milwaukee was chosen to host the 2024 Republican National Convention, further highlighting its role in the upcoming election. Both Harris and Trump are vying for every possible vote, knowing that a win in Wisconsin could mean a win for the entire election. Conclusion: the stakes couldn't be higher. As the 2024 U.S. presidential election approaches, the battle for these 7 swing states intensifies. Each state tells a different story, with its unique blend of economic, social, and political issues that reflect the broader national landscape. Voters in these states are not just choosing a candidate. With so much at stake, the question remains, what will ultimately influence these pivotal states' decisions? Will it be economic concerns, social issues, or foreign policy stances that tip the scales? How will the voters in these battlegrounds shape the future of the United States? We invite you to share your thoughts on what you believe will be the deciding factors in this crucial election.